A power I wield indeed. I told you last time I thought I could summon you when needed, and it has happened yet again.
And for what this time?
My friend here needs to be taken to the sanctuary of Elefsis, near the border of Mecharis. He'll finish the trek across the border on his own.
I'm always happy to help a friend of yours. Is this one drunk as well?
Not at all. And that politician was not my friend.
Let's get to it. I'm just supposed to take your friend across the border.
Yes.
Nothing else?
Carefully, if you can. Avoid roads, people, be invisible. My friend must be kept safe.
I'll make sure he's safe.
I'd hoped you'd say that.
Every time you ask me to do something secretly, someone dies. What is it this time?
Not everyone was born with your beautiful muscles built for, well, everything. Some of us work better by avoiding fights. This time, that's all I ask.
There are lots of safe passages through these parts. Tell your friend to go alone.
He could, but imagine if something happened and you saved him. Imagine the things I'd do to show my gratitude.
And why do you always turn to me?
You've proven yourself worthy. Plus, I like watching you walk away.
We should be on our way.
He needs to get to the sanctuary of Elefsis. It isn't far, although it may take you longer than usual.
It won't be a problem.
I'm glad we aren't going by sea.
You want to start trouble?
Alcibiades told me about
There'll be
it.
trouble if I'm
He
spotted
said
here.
you're blessed by the gods. It's nice of you to help someone you don't know at all. We should stay on the safest route possible. Poro! Poro!
Yeah! Yeah! Ella. Ella, Ella.
I will kill you quick!
Come on. Yeah! LFC.
That's better. I was starting to get sweaty under that hood.
You're a woman.
Nice of you to notice.
Alcibiades said...
Exactly what I told him to. It was safer that way. I owe Alcibiades a lot for his help, and for trusting you with my life as well.
Enough lies. Tell me what's happening.
I said I was a man, so nobody would recognize me. I needed to escape my husband unseen.
And you trusted Alcibiades?
No one escapes my husband. He'd find me. It's been tough. I'm not sure I would have lasted much longer.
I'm glad I could help.
Please give Alcibiades my thanks. I only wish I had more to offer him. And you, for the help. I'll never forget either of you. Now I'll make my way to Megaris. Thank you, Mr.
Πάυσε. Την γάρα μου απολέσω.
I need to stay hidden.
Don't make me come over there.
Οι θεοί με εγκατέλειψαν.
The sun and moon combined could not grant the beauty that my bride-to-be was gifted. If the gods blessed me, they did so with one eye closed. But their eyes were wide open for her.
I'm impressed. If I only heard the words, I'd swear you were a poet.
My words are nowhere near what she deserves.
So, you're in love.
Yes, the wedding nears, and there is so much to be done.
If you need help, I'm here for you.
Accepting before knowing what I ask of you? That's a rare surprise. I do still need a few things. Food for an offering, a ring, and some flowers. If you could bring them to my bride, Iris, she'll make use of them.
I've known you for a while now, but you've never mentioned Iris.
There's plenty I haven't mentioned. I'm sure you could say the same to me.
So what is it about Iris that turns you into, well, what I saw?
You're not jealous, are you? Don't worry. She's very open. I suppose that's one of my favorite things about her. The openness.
So, flowers, a ring, and food. Where can I find Iris?
She should be at the altar of love. Aptly named, don't you think? Oh, and don't be too taken by her beauty. A ring of flowers and food. That's what my love needs.
So, flowers, a ring, and food. Where can I find Iris?
She should be at the altar of love. Aptly named, don't you think? Oh, and don't be too taken by her beauty.
Ella! Ah! Come on! Yeah! Found it. There, here it is. Ella. They'll keep a sharp watch here. These flowers should be good enough for the wedding.
Something's over there. It's probably not.
Hopefully this jewelry is up to Alcibiades standards. I think this will be a nice enough offering.
Let me guess. Alcibiades sent you.
He did. How did you know?
He has a skill for making others do things he doesn't want to. On top of that, he prefers if those people are attractive. He's so predictable. It's what made this whole thing so easy.
It almost sounds like you're using him. What has been easy?
Making him fall in love with me, of course. Please, Alcibiades is not the man you marry for love.
Then why are you marrying him?
Alcibiades has a true chance of ruling one day. Well, he'll be the face, but I'll be the one truly leading. The Aspasia to his Pericles.
I'm impressed. I didn't think Alcibiades would ever be on the receiving end of something like this.
He's used to being on the receiving end.
Well, you definitely have something in common.
I'll pretend that was a compliment.
And what if I tell Alcibiades all of this?
Why would you? You've seen him, he's happy, and I'll make sure he stays that way. There's nothing wrong with me getting something in return, but it's your choice. Thanks for helping with the wedding. Please, I have a lot to attend to.
Best stay out of sight.
What are you doing? Stop!
It's all done.
Wonderful. So, what did you think about Iris?
You found a good one. I can see what you like about her.
I knew you would. Even though nothing could change my mind about her, it's always nice to get confirmation from others.
I hope you two are happy. You seem perfect for one another.
We'll be more than happy. Thank you for your help, Alexios. I hope this isn't the last time we meet.
So what was all of this for? Everything you had me do couldn't have been for nothing.
You've earned my trust. Are you sure you want to know?
So that package in Corinthia.
I almost forgot about that. I needed to get rid of the Odoros to pay off a debt. Plus, I needed spies to infiltrate Vardas's command. And my plan worked. Thanks to you.
All right. What about the politician?
He was brilliant and opposed me. A fatal combination. So, he needed replacing. And I had a much dumber man perfect for the job. He survived the party and you got him home safely. But it didn't matter in the end.
The woman with the Olisvos.
We talked about this. It wasn't about the woman, but her husband. He governs the trade routes between Attica and Mecharis. Or, I should say, I do now.
What about your friend, the one pretending to be a man?
That was out of the goodness of my heart. And God's curse anyone who doubts that.
I've heard enough.
Aren't you going to ask me about Iris?
Let me guess. Rich house, respected family. With her wealth, you can rule all of Athens.
Of course not. I marry for love. If those other things happen, well, I wouldn't complain.
I never would have guessed.
Each time everyone sees a more serious Alcibiades. The Alcibiades I've only shown glimpses of in the past. One day you'll see everything I was working toward. And you'll know you helped make it happen. Attica and lands far beyond will thank you, even if they don't know your name.
I'm glad I could help. Oh, I'll make sure you don't forget me when you lead Athens.
I'd never forget you. You're far too useful. It's such a beautiful day, and there will be so many more to come. Thanks to you, Alexios.
Thank you. I owe you my life.
Who's a good bird?
Can I help you? Enjoy your day, Mistios.
Οι οφθαλμοί μου πεσεύουσι.
Ποιος επέπελπες.
Δι διαφυγή με εντεύθεν παλίτρο. Πού κέρνω, τι ζωγράτη να αναμένω. Ω, Θεοί, διατίανε, διατίανε.
I'm here to see Socrates.
Alexios!
You know who I am?
Of course I do. Socrates never stops talking about you.
And you are...
His wife, of course. I'm Xanthippe.
Socrates never told me he had a wife.
Typical. The only time he's quiet is when he's eating. Yet he can't find time to mention me.
So, where is Socrates? I got a note that said to meet him here.
That's what I'd like to know. He went to another symposium last night, and he didn't come home after.
Sounds like a good place to start looking.
I was just about to head there myself. Come, keep me company.
How long have you and Socrates been married?
It's been quite some time now.
What is it about him that you love so much?
Love is not the word I'd use. Frustrates me to no end.
That doesn't surprise me.
Even so, it's worth the frustration. His mind is like no other. Not to mention, he's quite a good lover.
That's not something I wanted to picture. It must be why Alcibiades seems so infatuated with him.
Don't mention that name around me. Always coming by drunk, sending Socrates gifts like giant cakes.
I didn't know.
It's fine.
Xanthippe, over here! Xanthippe!
What is it?
Socrates! They took him away. They said he was under arrest.
For what?
I have no idea. We were just talking after the symposium. I'd say go ask him yourself, but he'll be guarded. They took him southeast of here.
That fool! I knew this would happen to him one day.
I'll find him, don't worry.
This is his doing. It's best to let these things run their course.
I can't believe Socrates was arrested. I need to find out what happened. I don't want to be spotted here.
Alexios, what are you doing here?
I could ask you the same.
Well, here I am. Though I'm more curious about how you are here. The guards let you in?
We've known each other a long time now. You know how I got in here.
You've taught me that the blade can sometimes be necessary. But I don't think this was one of those times.
I was worried about you.
Your care is appreciated, but if you had waited only a bit longer, I'm sure my trial would have taken place and I'd be free.
You're not going to trial. We're getting you out of here.
I understand your concern, but what good would escaping do other than prove I'm guilty? No. In fact, I'm looking forward to this trial.
What if they find you guilty, and your punishment is severe?
That will never happen. I'll convince them I deserve to go free. You'll see.
What were you arrested for?
I haven't the slightest idea.
And that doesn't bother you?
Sometimes understanding does not come at the moment we would like. More importantly, this is giving me the necessary time to think.
About...
I went to see the Pythia, and she told me there is none wiser than me. An intriguing thought, and one I've been unable to stop thinking about.
Socrates, the Pythia is...
It matters not what you believe she is or she isn't. I must examine not only her words, but my own self as well. I know nothing, so how could I be called wise?
What does that have to do with being locked up?
I believe my time here and this trial may help me find the answer. I will be fine. Trust me.
I've known you for a while now.
That's true.
And you'd call us friends?
I would.
And friends share important things with one another. Is that so?
It is.
Then how did I not know you were married? From what you just said, that means either we're not friends, or that friends don't share with one another. So, which is it?
I've wondered how much of our conversation you've taken to heart. And now, I have my answer.
Were you doing anything when you got arrested?
If speaking my mind is worth imprisonment, then I suppose I was.
In the future, you may want to be more careful.
You risk life and limb every time you draw your blade. Just because it's my tongue that is sharp, doesn't mean I'm not prepared to face the consequences of using it.
Since you won't leave with me, I'll go see the Pythia myself.
That's not necessary.
I'll find out why she told you that. I won't let you go to trial, even if you think you'll be found innocent.
Ah, Alexios, you...
I'll come back when I have what I need. I should be careful. High security here.
Come back here!
Let's get this over.
Oh no, not you.
You remember me?
Just go. I'm too old for this.
I'm ready for you!
There might be a bit of blood when you go upstairs.
You again?
I'm here for a different reason.
After last time, they tortured me. I thought they were going to kill me, just like I told you. It hurt so badly, I begged for death.
I didn't mean for that to happen.
Just hurry, and tell me what you want.
You told Socrates something, and I want to know why.
Questioning why the Pythia speaks is a strange thing.
I know why you speak, and I know who controls your voice. Tell me why the cult had you tell Socrates he's the wisest.
The cult didn't tell me to say that. I did that on my own.
The cult wouldn't allow you to do that.
Which is why I was very careful. I seek Socrates as an ally, but simply asking him to help wouldn't have worked.
An ally? For what?
I know much of Socrates. Not only has he visited me often, but his students do as well.
Get to the point.
You know the gods don't speak through me. I feel Socrates is the one who can convince others of this. If he succeeds, the cult will have no more need for me.
So you're hoping he comes to the conclusion that the gods don't exist?
It matters not if Socrates believes they exist. He needs simply to doubt that the gods speak through me.
I understand why you think Socrates can help, but why tell him he's the wisest?
He'll delve into what it means to be wisest. It's my hope he'll conclude he's not, and therefore doubt the words of the gods.
If you just told him your words aren't from the gods, wouldn't that serve the same purpose? And much quicker?
Socrates is not the type to desire the answer so easily. He'll have more drive when he finds the answer on his own.
This is getting complicated.
Whatever you do, you can't tell Socrates.
I understand. He has to come to the answer on his own.
Exactly. Although, if you truly wish to help Socrates, a student of his came by not long before you. He seemed distraught.
Distraught?
He was clutching a book tightly to his chest and kept looking over his shoulder. He told me he was going into a tomb nearby until things were safe.
Thank you. I'll find him. This is it.
Sorry for sharing my fear of tombs with you.
What was that?
Nothing.
Your life ends now!
Something's blocking this. You don't need to be scared now. I'm not with them.
That doesn't mean you won't kill me. You just want this for yourself.
I'm a friend of Socrates.
You are? Prove it.
I'm not proving anything to you. I just saved your life, and I'm here to help.
Okay, if you say so.
Why were those men after you?
For some reason, they wanted these writings of Socrates's. Well, I wrote them, but it's all his words.
That seems like a strange thing to want.
One of them had a big mouth. He mentioned something about the priest at the sanctuary of Athena Pronea. He said this was the final thing they needed to get rid of Socrates.
I've always been curious. What does Socrates teach you?
So much. Follow him around for an entire day and you won't be able to sleep. Your mind will be so aflutter with thoughts.
I'm not sure I'd last a whole day with him. What drew you to Socrates?
I've never met a man like him and I don't think I ever will again. Every day with him is one worth waking up for.
I'll take care of the priests.
Thank you. And, well, please, give this to Socrates. It hurts me to say this after all I've learned from him, but I have a family. I can't risk being caught up in whatever this is.
So you're going to stop being his student?
It feels I have no choice. Maybe one day that will change.
I'll be sure to give him the writings.
Thank you. Make sure he stays safe. The world will be a worse place without him in it.
That student gave me an idea. Xantippe said there was a symposium. Maybe I can convince the others who were there to help Socrates. I'm not sure why the priests want Socrates gone, but I need to take care of them. I should stay hidden if I don't want to fight.
another step!
I need to talk to them. Maybe I can convince them to stand up for Socrates at the trial.
It's as Xenophanes said, of course. We have given the gods human forms because we wish them to be as we are.
No, they are as they are. Who are we to give form to the gods?
Exactly my point. As he said, if oxen or horses or any beast could produce art as we do, they would form the gods in the image of themselves.
Yes, well, they can't. And you've simply shown me again why Xenophanes is problematic.
Come now, don't be like that. It's okay to be wrong, eh? Sometimes.
Ah, I wouldn't know what that's like.
Do not students take what they learn from their teachers? What then if the teacher is wrong? Does that not simply perpetuate these wrong teachings amongst future generations?
You assume the students aren't wise enough to understand the flaws of the teacher. Think of those who came before us. First Thales, then his student Anaximandros, and then Anaximenes. Without the teachings of those before him, it's safe to say Anaximenes would not have reached the conclusions he did.
I don't think that's true at all. Oh, perhaps this new phase can offer a different perspective.
I've never heard the names you just mentioned.
It's never too late to learn. But even so, one doesn't need to know who they are to answer. Is it not a risk that wrong ideas will be passed along if a student doesn't have the wisdom to seek the truth?
If a student asks questions before first learning from their teacher, they've not only failed their teacher, but themselves.
Yes, and more would do well to challenge what they hear.
Your appearance betrays you, Mystius. Clearly, you've taken on a teacher of your own.
Something like that. He's the reason I'm here. Socrates needs your help.
Socrates? Ha! If it's another debate you want, it will be hard for us to decide who hates that man more. Why would we help him?
It doesn't matter if he's your worst enemy. If they're willing to imprison someone like Socrates only for his words, what's to say they won't do the same to you?
So, you want us to help out of fear of being imprisoned ourselves?
I don't care why you help. If I hadn't said his name, would you think it was right Socrates was locked up?
If it's as you say, and it was for his words, then no.
And aren't you afraid it could happen to you too?
Of course. If we can't speak our minds, what else are we to do?
If you believe that, then you should help.
Fine, fine. You've made your point, and you've made it well. Socrates deserves our help, but we don't give it lightly.
That makes it worth even more.
We'll be on our way then. We'll gather some others as well. Make sure our voices are heard. Believe it or not, we're pretty good at causing a scene.
If you're like Socrates, that's not hard to believe.
Wow, I've never seen someone convince them so easily before.
Is that so? I guess I should feel proud. I'm surprised to see a child here.
Is there an age at which it would suddenly be okay to debate with them? What then of the night before I turned that age? Should we be prevented from doing what we wish due to the world's view of us?
I regret doubting you at all.
Thank you. There are few things greater than gaining the understanding of another.
On that, we disagree.
Disagreements can lead to even more understanding.
You're the first kid I've met who'd rather debate than play.
Don't tell the others, but I'm envious that you're a student of Socrates. I hope one day to be as well.
You're on the right path. What's your name?
Aristocles. Although I've never liked that name much.
It does sound like countless others I've heard around Athens. Why not choose another?
I can do that? Huh. My brother always had a problem saying my name. so he called me Plato instead. Perhaps I'll use that.
I like it.
Thank you. Well, I better hurry after the others. Here.
Πού καλή θέση τούτο εστί? Της δε αυτιόχλησης?
Check the body.
Βοηθήσει με!
Those priests must be the ones who hired the thugs and want to get rid of Socrates. dead, they won't be able to testify against Socrates. I should return to Socrates before the trial starts. Socrates, you're here.
I am.
What happened? The trial couldn't have taken place that quickly.
Had I been given the chance to defend myself, it would have been quick indeed. But unfortunately for me, I was let free before I could.
That's good news.
Apparently, those who had charges to bring against me were found dead. And evidence they claimed to have went missing.
It sounds like someone was looking out for you.
There were also some people protesting my arrest, I was told. I have to ask, did you have something to do with this?
Me? Kill? Steal? Arrange protests?
Yes.
It does sound like me. But it was someone else this time.
I'm glad I asked.
Did you have time to find an answer for the Pythia's words?
I thought it would have taken much longer than it did, but the moment I stopped thinking about it, it came to me like a flash of Zeus's lightning.
So, do you agree with the Pythia, or not?
The gods cannot lie. Yet, I know that I know nothing. I had to understand what it meant for one who knows nothing to be called wise. I realized that though the Pythia said my name, she did not mean me.
Who did she mean then?
That is not an answer I'd yet like to voice. It's one that people may not want to hear, and I must think on how I wish to share my new beliefs with Athens.
Whatever it is, be careful. I don't want to find you being arrested again. We should get you home. I'm sure you'll be more comfortable there.
In some ways, that will be true. In others, well, Xanthippe will decide that. Being free feels good, but I don't believe Xanthippe will be happy with me.
She has good reason to be mad this time.
We argue often about how I need to be careful with what I say and where I say it. This will only give her more cause to bring it up.
That doesn't sound very fun.
Oh, you misunderstand. I love it.
You do?
People see Xanthippe and believe it is her beauty that drew me to her. But it is her argumentative spirit I lust for.
Nobody ever likes that about me.
Having my opinions and thoughts challenged helps me to refine them and to grow as a person.
And she likes these arguments?
I doubt it. But it is in those fiery moments that her spirit is strongest, like an untamed horse.
Don't call her a horse to her face.
I'm afraid your advice is a bit too late.
Go! Go!
Get somewhere safe, Socrates. With the things I do, it's sometimes hard to know.
Let's hurry back before anything else happens.
You came back. Finally. I'm ready to return to Athens. I've had enough of Phokis and his talk of the Pythia.
You will be happy to hear I have no need for her words any longer.
Ah, then something positive came out of this after all.
I just remembered. A student of yours has been taking notes of your teachings. He wanted you to have them. What did you do that for?
Nobody asked him to write down my words.
Even so, why not keep it? Share it with others.
Because of a story I was told as a boy.
All right, let's hear it.
The king of Egypt, Thamos, was visited by the god Thephtha. Thephtha offered the invention of writing to the king and told him it was an elixir of memory and wisdom. But Thamos disagreed. He believed the people would no longer use their memories, for they would simply read instead. These written words would not offer true wisdom, but only the appearance of such.
You don't want your words written down so others can't use them to pretend to be smart.
Much like creatures in a painting, the words sit there unmoving. If you ask them a question, they will preserve a solemn silence. And no matter how many times you ask, they will only ever say the same thing. They cannot defend their message.
That's the part you like. The defense of your words.
All who speak should defend their words if questioned about them. That is why I choose to speak and not write. That is why any words of mine that last beyond my final breath will be those that people choose to remember. Those words will be true wisdom and not an illusion.
What's your plan now?
After I return to Athens, there's much I need to consider.
You'll be careful, right?
If I have to choose between saying nothing and staying safe, or speaking up and risking my life, the choice is easy.
I should get going. I'm glad you're free.
As am I, although, if you allow me, there is something.
I doubt I could stop you.
We like to believe that action means progress, but it's control that's so truly desired. The more we do, the more control it seems we have, but the less we allow for others. If we grip too tightly, we'll find we've crushed what it is we're holding on to.
Meaning...
Meaning we must sometimes let life unfold without trying to influence the outcome.
I'll keep that in mind. I almost forgot. In your letter, you said you had something to ask me. What was it?
You know, I've completely forgotten now. Take care, Alexios.
Stay out of trouble, Socrates.
Beast Slayer, I'm glad to see you.
Daphne, I didn't think you would be.
The path I set you on is fraught with danger. You could have been killed, or given up.
No danger could have kept me from seeing you again.
Maybe you're getting ahead of yourself. Maybe.
The Nemean lion's pelt.
Magnificent. As is its hunter.
Strength is powerless in the face of beauty. Even Heracles fell to its sway.
You slay me as easily with your words as your weapons do these beasts.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Beast Slayer, I'm glad to see you again.
I'll return when I have more pelts.
Ah, I could hear your footsteps. Welcome back.
You'll be glad to know I've been to the statue of Athena at the Acropolis.
Ah, if only I could have been there to feel her presence. Would you describe her to me?
If Athens is a city of statues, then Athena is their guardian. She stands high above everything, on guard over the city.
Yes, not just standing tall to protect Athens, but to serve as a reminder of the suffering those poor people endured during the invasion.
Your turn to tell me something. You said a man tried to kill you.
The man who rose up to kill the tyrant Xerxes was named Darius. He was of a new creed of killers, unlike any Persia had known. He was also the man hired to kill me.
A killer of kings, hired to kill a simple blind man. Why?
I have your interest, do I? Tell another tale, and I will too.
I've traveled to the Acrocorinth. From there, I could see all of Corinthia.
Ah, I can only wonder at what the worshippers of Aphrodite do to pay her tribute.
The Aetera keep the spirit of Aphrodite alive, usually well into the night.
Exactly as your goddess deserves. When I was younger, I'd lie awake dreaming of what it would be like to go. Worship, of course.
Now that's out of the way, you owe me a tale. You said the king killer Darius was hired to kill you too?
He was. By my brother.
Your brother? None of this is making any sense, old man.
I trust you, so I will tell you. My brother and I are the last living sons of King Xerxes.
Impossible. That would make you a king.
I was. My name was Artaxerxes. I guided Persia through a time of peace. But my brother wanted the throne and plotted my death. Now, I hide here, exiled, living the life of a simple beggar. I will tell you more. But first...
Yes, a tale for a tale. I returned to Mount Aegatos.
Returned? Tell me, did you meet the mountain god who devours Spartan children?
The mountain is just a mountain, like any other. What makes Taygetos a place of suffering is the people there.
That is true of all the world's worst places.
When I was a child,
I could tell from the moment I met you that you carried the burden of suffering. Let it stay in the past.
Now you tell me, King Artaxerxes, how can I believe your story? You don't exactly look like royalty.
Well, that's the point. I am hiding.
Show me proof.
I could. You see, I knew a man named Themistocles.
The Athenian general. I heard stories about him being ostracized from Athens.
Over petty politics. He came to Persia to me, looking for refuge. I was king, but only a boy. He spent his days learning Persian and telling me stories of his home. Places like the Acrocorinth, Mount Taygetos.
The places you wished you could see.
I loved the tales and loved Themistocles like a father. He was kinder to me than Xerxes ever was. Tell me one last tale, and I'll tell you where he hid his treasure.
I'll be back with stories to tell.
As soon as you've seen one location, please return.
Good day. Done. Goodbye, then.
Παύσον, οχλείς με.
What can I show you? Stop by again.
Might be worth my while to kill you.
Please, stranger. I don't think I can walk.
You have offered me...
Just take me to my pater's house. It's in the port of Gechries.
This would be faster on horseback.
What do those bandits want with you?
They said something about getting what they were owed, but I have no idea what they meant.
You've never seen them before?
Come to think of it, they did look familiar. A group of bandits has been harassing the port I grew up in for as long as I can remember.
Τι συνέβη μόλις?
Here we are, Pater's house. So, does my enchanting rescuer have a name?
Alexios.
Well met. I'm Lykinos, famed poet of Athens. I have come to visit my dear pater and brother. Speaking of which, Timotheos, I'm home. This is the lovely Alexios. He rescued me on my way here. Where's...
Father's dead.
What?
He was killed a few days ago by local bandits.
And this is how you tell me?
I need to prepare for the burial. I suggest you do the same. For saving my brother. If you're as tough as you look, I could use your help with something else before you go.
Can you believe him?
We all grieve differently. Your brother just lost his father, too.
Ever since Timotheos returned from the war, he's been different.
He fought for Athens.
For a little while. So did my pater. Now they're both fishermen. Or my pater was, I guess.
Give him time.
I'll leave the brooding to Timotheos. You're a mercenary, right? I want vengeance on my pater's killers.
Haven't you had enough bloodshed for one day?
That's why I'm hiring a Misthios to do the fighting for me. And my brother said he could use your help too.
All right. I'll stay and help. How should I track down the bandits Timotheos mentioned?
Their hideout is rumored to be just west of here, in the ruined temple of Zeus.
I'll make sure the bandits pay for what they did. Timotheos, you said you could use my help?
My father served in the Athenian military. He deserves a proper military burial in his Athenian armor. But that armor was stolen from our home not that long ago.
You want me to get it back?
No. My father said he saw the thief running out of town after he stole it. But the merchant should have some Athenian armor. Tell him it's for Diocles' burial. They were friends.
I'll get the armor for your father's burial.